Shantae smashed it.
And I owe 41 people.
So wrap, guys. Over and
Out. A year ago, I started posting on YouTube and I was sharing and speaking about things that I never thought I would stop talking about, and then I just disappeared. And I owe 41 people an explanation. So if you're one of the 41 people who is still subscribed to this channel, I want to say thank you. And although the title might say I'm in debt to 41 people, I don't mean financially. I'm not in debt to 41 people. And it's more about trust. 41 people subscribe to this channel because they believed that there was something worth following when I started posting. In fact, I had more than 41. I think I had about 49, 50, but clearly, as we can see, some of them haven't followed. So I am thankful for the 41 that have still subscribed and still remains an audience on this channel. So yeah, to the 41 people who subscribed who kept subscribing because they believed that there was something here watching, and then at some point I basically went quiet, and it wasn't that I quit and it wasn't that I wanted to stop, but essentially life was lifing. And at that time I probably should have just said be right back, and I'm sorry I didn't, but I'm back now. And moving forward, I do intend that if life starts lifing, because it does that, we can all agree that life can life and it does life, I promise to you to at least just show up, even if it's for a second, even if it's for 5 minutes. I might not necessarily explain what's going on, but I will have a be right back moment, and I will let you know, be right back. Rather than just going quiet, I vouch to do that going forward. So we do have a lot to catch up on and go over because, like I said, last year I disappeared after maybe February, March. I'm not even sure when the last video was posted on this channel, but we do have a lot to catch up on, and I do want to reflect on my experience, and I want to reflect on my journey of building my personal brand. As you guys know, I was working with clients as an ops consultant and just helping them with their operations, putting in processes in place, auditing systems and operations, speaking. So I did speaking engagements, I carried out workshops, and I worked with clients in a variety of different ways, according to their needs and requirements and what they needed from me and my expertise as an ops consultant. Now, watching back these videos, I never really thought that a year ago from now, or from then, I never thought, looking back at these videos a year later from when I recorded these, that I would be sitting here reflecting back on the last year and what has happened. And I really enjoyed working with clients in variety of settings. My days looked very different with different clients according to their needs and according to the ways that I was working with them. Some clients, I would have VIP days with them. So whether that was having VIP days and spending days with my clients, I really, really enjoyed that. Some clients, we had VIP days where we're unpacking, their business structure, their processes, things that they need to implement. Other clients, I'll spend in days with them, whether it's at their various properties or at an event. One of the things I'm very proud of myself for was a speaking engagement that I did for a client, and it was on goal setting and networking. And essentially I was breaking down my approach on how I network and how I set goals, and just giving a bit more insight on my approach to things and my way of thinking. Because with me, my mind is a very systems thinking approach, and I do a lot of reverse engineering when it comes to setting myself goals and achieving them. And a lot of times I do get questions on, how do I get from A to B? How do I get from A, B to C? How do I get from A, B, C to D? And a lot of the times people do want to pick my brains because they want to understand how it works and how I think of things. I believe that your habits is connected to the actions that you do, which then connects you to achieving your goals. Things to consider when setting goals: being very specific. So let's say you have a goal that you want to achieve something in a year's time. You should try and break it down into like quarters. I always think if you have an idea and someone is starting it, that's the validation itself. That's how I look at it. In that speaking engagement, I was able to present across how I broke things down. I discussed about how, I'm very big on habit trackers and how I set my intentions through that, and whatever goals that I have set myself to achieve, I reverse engineer it, break it right down to what does my habit looks like in order to achieve that goal. What does my habit look like on a daily basis? What does my routine look like on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? What does my months look like? What does my weeks look like, my days look like, break them down in hour? What does my quarter looks like in order for me to get to that goal? And so I discussed and talk and spoke about that. Also dived in more of my approach when it comes to networking, how I like to interact with people when I go to events. Naturally, my mind is very curious and I'm a very curious person, and I think that does and has helped me in many settings to genuinely actually get to know people. So during this session, I spoke a lot about being curious and asking really good questions. If you ask really good questions about someone or to someone, they're going to always remember you.
Yes, a philosophy.
And I gave a
Shantae smashed it. She did the goal setting workshop, and I'm telling you, best. I was taking behind the scenes, and I was like, oh, I need to take my notes out and start typing. She smashed it.
thank you.
You're welcome, Benny.
And yeah, you did amazing with the behind the scenes. I can't wait to see it. The good thing about having Emanuela behind the scenes is that I don't have to worry about basically putting out content tomorrow. And it will be ready by tomorrow. She's gonna send it over. I just be ready to just post. So yeah. And now where are we going to? A church conference?
Yes, we are going to Apostle. I think it's Archery.
No, I'll press it by accident.
Oh.
So. Yeah, where are we going?
We are going. Let me check. To the Apostolic Conference.
Apostolic.
Ooh. Okay. London Apostolic Conference.
Are we walking in the right direction?
Yeah, we're nearly there.
We are in Kilburn.
Very different. Yeah, London Apostolic Conference. What do you want to tell the people?
Yeah, it's been a good day. We're gonna have a very good evening. A very spiritual evening. What would you call it?
A refreshing evening in the presence of the Lord.
Yes.
There is no such thing as building your business and letting your spirit perish. But what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul?
Yes.
So we're going to be charged, refreshed, and probably encounter Jesus. Amen.
Yes, amen.
Yes.
One of the full circle moments that I had last year that I was very proud of was that I worked on a workshop and facilitated and co-hosted with the Career Guard at the Financial Times, and it was young students who was at university and they came for the day, and we had different sessions, and I led the demystifying career myths. So for example, people might be thinking in order for you to get into finance, you must be good at maths, or you must have done like a financial degree, and just debunking it that not really, you could have studied history, geography and apply to work in finance, and demystifying career myths on stuff like that. And also there was like a activity around AI, and just kind of having that open dialogue and conversation with students to say, now that we have AI, how would the workplace look like? What would careers look like? What new opportunities or jobs, what would that look like in the future? And so having conversations like that. And how do you think AI will
influence and impact roles in media and finance, and maybe think about future roles that it could.
And yeah, I was really proud of that moment because I literally went from reading the Financial Times in my like corporate journey when I was working within the financial services, and there was a company I was previously at, and I used to literally, like, as soon as I get into the office, I'll be reading the Financial Times, need to, like, you know, understand what's going on in the world, what's happening, and yeah, and then to now just like essentially, like, you know, being part of a team that's working with them. So that was another proud moment of mine, actually. But yeah, I'll drop some clips in so you can see a bit about that, and also I'll probably just share my minute review clip about that on my shorts, so you can kind of like see that. So yeah, that's another thing I'll say I'm really proud of. And both of these engagements that I had with, or three of them that I had with clients, actually, essentially spending a day with my client at DXL, doing a speaking engagement, and then facilitating the workshop and co-hosting, all happened in the month of April in 2025. That month was a good month, you know. I went to church, on, like, whether it was an Easter service or a service dedicated to, you know, just like leaning in more spiritually and growing more in my journey and relationship with the Lord. So yeah, that's my reflection. And also I celebrated my aunt's birthday.
Okay, I've got like 15%. I didn't realize that this was not charged. I did not realize. So yeah, I've arrived. I am going to go. I'm gonna try and find the venue for my auntie's birthday party. Yeah. Oh, let me get this. Hold on. I'm hoping I'm not too underdressed, but I just might be. And it would just be cold and I'll be freezing. Okay, where's my phone? I got everything.
Now, since filming these moments last year, obviously, as you know, and as you can tell, things have changed. Things have happened that I've never expected. Some seasons, amazing things have happened. Some seasons, there's been difficulty and challenges, but it's all made me who I am sitting here today. So I'm still very much appreciative. I'm still very much thankful and grateful for the seasons that I've experienced, the seasons that I've come out of, the seasons that I've been through. And I'm not gonna let those seasons stop me from showing up and continuing to build my personal brand as I intended on this very platform last year. So to the 41 people who continue to subscribe, who continue to support me, and continue to watch or wait on me to return and come back and post, because you had such faith that I was going to return and that something was gonna more things was going to be posted on this platform. Thank you for having faith in me. And although this channel was initially intended for me to show you behind the scenes of me building that business that I wanted to build last year, life changes. And to be honest, I don't want to be someone who's just locked in a box. I want to show up as my whole self and showing you what that looks like. And I'm a multifaceted person, have always been this way. I've always either been working 9 to 5, having something at the side. I don't like to use the term side hustle You know, I've always built a beauty business at the side alongside my job. I'm a very creative person, as well as I'm an operational systems mindset thinking person as well. So I have this logical geeky side of me, but I also have this creative side of me, and for me that is what is a balance. You know, I don't really believe in the whole balanced life or balanced work life. I don't believe that there is such thing as a balance. I think that there's just seasons, and so for me, I like that balance internally on me, that I can think logical, be very geeky, but yet have like a creative side of me, which I like. You're gonna get the whole of my multifaceted lifestyle here, and that could be work, that business experience, that could be my creative experience, because I also create content and I've done UCG as well. So there's different dynamics of me. So to the 41 people that stay subscribed to me, I just want to say thank you. This time around, I'm building something that is intentional, honest, and is worth documenting. So stay tuned for the next chapter, and I'll see you in the next video.